Your seatbelt's not all the way on.
Oh, thank you. I would have figured it out sooner or later, wouldn't I?
You're all twisted down here. I don't even know if you're buckled in.
Okay, so we'll do ice cam reaction. So my plan is to take off. We'll fly. We'll turn. We got a right crosswind, but we'll end up turning to the northeast. I've got it set to go to 3,500 on the thing. I think that'll keep us below the clouds for the moment. And once we get a little clear, we'll make another assertion. But my guess is we're going to head northeast, at least for the moment, to get around this, and then we'll go from there. If we need to, we'll come back.
I think we can find some clear skies. Okay, so you're going to a waypoint here right now.
Yep.
My thought is we'll have to cut in, but like this will get us close. And then straight down. This stuff is all dissipating. Okay. So it's just a matter of when it dissipates.
There's just nothing there.
I mean, it's going east.
Okay.
So we may have to dodge it, but like I'm trying to get as direct as we can.
Okay. Sounds good. Just add waypoints to the thing when we get going here.
Yeah.
Tower 955 Charlie Tango, ready for departure, runway 1.
November 955 Charlie Tango, Sir Tower, runway 1, clear takeoff. Right turnout approved to the northeast, and report leaving the Delta, please.
Okay, clear for there, runway 1, right turnout approved, we'll report clearing the Delta, and just to confirm...
something interesting happened after we took off, and so there's some data here that I'll put up on the screen to highlight a little bit about what was happening. But essentially, not long after takeoff, I started noticing fluctuation of temperature for cylinder head number 5. At first, it was jumping up and down about 10-15 degrees, slightly more erratic than normal, but not of much concern. And that led me to believe that, okay, something is probably loose with the sensor, the thermocouple is going bad, the thermistor is going bad, and then, just trying to keep an eye on it and make sure that nothing out of the ordinary, is starting to occur. But then it started to spike. In fact, it spiked so high it went past the red line of the settings we have in the plane. Typically, you'd like to see these CHTs stay under 400 degrees. The lower the better. Under 400 degrees is great. If it starts getting up into the above 400, I start to think a little bit about making some changes. And once it gets above about 430, that's when you really want to take some kind of action to limit it. 500 is the max for the Lycoming engine. Above 500, you're probably going to start doing damage to the plane. This thing spiked well above 500. In fact, it went off the chart on the plane. The data shows it going up into the 700 range, but I couldn't see that number on the screen at the time. It was above the range of what was displayable on the plane. So there's a ding, an audible alarm letting me know that something's going on there. And so that number is very concerning because it means your cylinder head temperature is way too hot and something bad is happening. I immediately pulled the power back, leveled us off. We were at that point maybe around 2,000 feet. Not significantly high off the ground, but I didn't want to continue putting full power on the engine, particularly after takeoff, and kind of started mentally thinking about turning back to the airport in an attempt to come back in and land.
Cylinder number 5 is acting a little funky. I think that's real.
But it also became apparent to me that I wasn't exactly sure this was a real reading on the thermocouple or on the temperature sensor. There was no other correlating data showing anything else was going on. In fact, the exhaust gas temperatures for the cylinder showed no change whatsoever, and they were all still correlated with the other cylinders. And so in my mind, if something actually is happening in the cylinder that has some kind of like runaway thermal event, you'd be seeing that in terms of also changes in exhaust gas temperature. You'd probably also be hearing something, perhaps power reduction, perhaps the engine not running correctly, something else occurring in the data, and I just wasn't seeing anything else.
So the exhaust gas temperature is not any different?
Made some commentary about it not being real, or at least not thinking it was real, and just kept an eye on it. And then the temperature came back down. It still was pretty jumpy for a little while.
The sensor issue.
And then after another maybe 5-10 minutes, it was fine
Oh,
and continued reading just fine for the rest of the trip.
Look at that.
So we'll go into a little bit more detail about our findings in the next video that we'll put out, but just wanted to highlight kind of a stressful situation takeoff in this airport in northern Michigan.
And so it's back on now, and it's still fine.
No, it's all jumpy, but like I think we feel something different or hear it, or I don't think it's a problem. See if I can gain a little altitude here. 5 Charlie Tango is departing to the northeast.
Experimental 5 Charlie Tango, roger, thanks, good day.
Good day, 5 Tango.
I think you can head easterly now.
Okay. I'm going to activate the autopilot.
Boost pump off, landing lights will keep on. Right, there you want the boost pump. Yeah, the boost pump needs to come off.
Boost pump's fine.
Okay, let's switch over to list, so at least we're listening.
Over 900, deviations left and right of course are approved. Direct to the Iron Mountain Airport when able and advised. November 0 Juliet Bravo, we'll pack airport 12 o'clock and 5 miles.
I know, but there was rain over there.
November 0 Juliet Bravo, clear for initial approach, we'll pack airport, change to advisory frequencies approved before cancellation of IFR in the air. This frequency on
All
the
I want to do is not headed towards the lake.
Okay.
There's not a lot of airports out here, so like.
Okay.
November 16 November, just again, the Milwaukee approach is not going to be taking you IFR to Oshkosh without the reservation, say intention. November 760.